Hi there, Mike from Shoe Science Albany in Silverdale with this week's Tech Tuesday. This week we're going to talk about a few shoe myths and why we are seeing such a paradigm shift of shoe design today. To understand that, we have to look back probably around 30 years when the modern running shoe began to evolve. Now 30 years ago we were talking about pronation and excessive pronation being a big cause of excessive stress and injury. Now, at that time, we started to see a very common design process from all brands to control the foot and the pronatory movement inwards. With that design process, we started to see the evolution of the modern running shoe store, which was video gait analysis, people running on treadmills or on a track, and the shoe actively trying to straighten the foot up to reduce the risk of injury. Now, had that been effective, we would have seen a continuation of that methodology over the last decade, but also we would have seen the data telling us that running injuries were less constant. What we have seen is some running injuries have reduced, other running injuries have actually increased, and because of this, we've seen a big change in the expectations of these shoe brands in terms of the role of a running shoe. Now, the primary role of a running shoe should be comfort. It isn't about controlling pronation, but it's more about the facilitation of the mechanism of the foot forwards. This allows us to improve comfort, but it allows us to improve efficiency across the ground. We can reduce shoe weight, meaning that the shoe can have less of a fatiguing element on the body, because at the bottom of the limb, the less weight there is, the less fatigue it will cause. All brands are heading in this direction. It's a commonplace now, with mainly foam technologies being the order of the day. We have variables in offset and stiffness in the forefoot, but we are starting to see all brands improving the spring rate and dynamic nature of the forefoot toe off. So when it comes to the role of a shoe with an injury, let's not talk about pronation as the primary factor. Let's talk about the big drivers of injury, the way you train, your strength and balance between left and right leg, but also anterior and posterior muscle groups, and also technique. You have to undertake proper practice before looking at proper gear. Running shoes are there to be comfortable, there to fit well, and as your foot swells and changes, and as you fatigue, to maintain comfort. When you walk into a running shoe store, ask them some questions about their focus on you. If the primary discussion is about pronation, then you may be in the wrong store. You need to talk about your training, your goals, and you as an individual, past injury, and what you're trying to achieve. The shoe's role within that is to be comfortable, as mentioned, but it's not there to fix injury, and it's not there to solve problems within your training. Very rarely will a shoe fix things. So hopefully today I've been able to dispel a few myths about the role of running shoes within your running and your training. When it's time to come in and select a new shoe, come and see us at Shoe Science Albany in Silverdale. We'll sit you down, we'll talk about you first and your goals, and we'll talk about elements of your training and other things. We'll look at your balance, we'll look at your foot function, and we'll look at the main drivers of risk for you when it comes to developing niggles and potentially injury. And from there, we'll find an immensely comfortable shoe for you, guaranteed. So we'd love to see you soon, and let's talk next week at Tech Tuesday. Thanks very much.